famous goal kicker, Taylor Walker, with a welcome off. Here's Rosselli. Rosselli kicks the goal.
Handball to the excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal.
Oh, don't tell me.
He's a superstar.
Don't tell me. Oh! He's yet to kick an AFL goal. Oh, the velvet curtain.
Walker, oh, he's a colossus. He's kicked 5. He's been a handful. He's been the difference.
To cover himself in glory. Just coming back. And got there.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Proper Crows podcast. Thank you so much for listening, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watching on YouTube right now. Of course, 2 days away from the big game, round 1 at the MCG. Actually, you're listening to this, it's tomorrow. Well, there's 1 day left until the big game at the MCG. We're going to be running through, obviously, the lineups that have come out today. We're going to be running through a bit of a preview of the match and just where we think the game's won and lost. Not just myself here this evening. I'm joined by Dom. Dom, mate, how are you?
Absolutely buzzing, mate. With this time tomorrow in Melbourne. Oh, it just footy's back. It finally feels like it's back. Like I said last week, opening round just doesn't feel like footy, and I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Nah, same here, mate. It's just up and about. You know, you're watching footy shows, you're getting all the content. We're starting to get some games to watch as well, and you just know we're just a day away from the Crows playing footy again. It's been 6 long months, but we've made it through the cricket season and all the boring sports that get played in between. We've finally made it back to footy season, so we're up and about.
Such a cheap shot, bro. Cricket's good.
Cricket is good. Cricket is good. I've attended a couple of games. It's good, but it's just not the same. So, of course, Saturday night, March 14th, 7:05 p.m. Adelaide time for those of you listening at the moment at the MCG against the Pies. Fire it up. We've been waiting for this for a very, very long time, of course. Dom, we'll start with the lineups that have come out at the time of recording this evening. We'll start with defence. Let's run through defence first. If you've got it in front of you there, we'll go from the back and make our way to the forward line and see if there's anything. I don't think there's any massive surprises, but interesting to go through and see who we've selected.
Can do. So, we'll go back to forwards. So, starting back, we've got Hugh Bond, Jordan Butts, Wade Miller, Nick Murray, Josh Worrell, and Rory Laird. I don't think there's too many shocks there.
Nah.
Bond maybe, but even then it's not really surprising. Probably as expected, to be honest. Some of the matchups are pretty interesting. But yeah, it's pretty standard what I think everyone was probably expecting.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think Bond is probably the one that was on the edge, but he definitely earned his spot through the trials and the match sim. I think he played very well, so I'm excited to see him get a chance to run around on the G.
Yeah, big time. And then moving up into the midfield, obviously big Lockie McAndrew making his debut with Berry and Sligo as the Rovers. And we've got Cumming and Braden Cook on the wing, which I think is massive personally. And then obviously Dawson starting in the middle as well. Nice to see Braden Cook win that wing spot. Obviously, there was some competition there with Nank and Shrimp's favourite Chase Jones, who is a notable absentee from the lineup. More on that later.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's nice to see Cook in there. He had a pretty solid body of work the past couple of years, just a bit inconsistent. So hopefully he can take this opportunity and kind of make that spot his own. Because he's got a lot of potential there. It'd be nice to see him run amok, I think.
Yeah, I think just especially in the absence of Dan Curtin as well, just to grab that spot while Kurtz is out and on the recovery track and just, make it his own, like you said, and, give it a bit of a selection dilemma when Kurtz comes back and needing a reshuffle of the squad and just, like you say, hopefully just grabs it and just runs with it. And Saturday night, what better place to start than at the MCG, the biggest oval that you're going to play on. You got a big wing to work with.
Love Acres to move in, which hopefully will suit him well. There's a lot of talk around how good his ball use is, so hopefully we'll get to see a bit of that. It's probably good as well, like you said. It creates a bit of healthy competition. Probably opens the door, especially if he plays well. I think it definitely opens the door for Curtin to play more of that on-ball role that we were all hoping. But again, that's a few weeks down the track still, so
Yeah.
keep our hats on for now. um, and then obviously moving into the forward line, we've got my boy Luke Pedler, Riley Thilthorpe, Cal Archie, obviously on debut as well for the Crows. Massive inclusion there, I think. I'm really glad he got up from the hamstring
Yeah.
from Origin. And then Rash, Tex, and Fog rounding out the 18 on field. Yeah, I don't think there's too many shocks. Probably just not even really a shock. The Cook one is probably just the one that was the most up in the air, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty settled lineup. It's kind of what everyone was expecting. I think nothing too shocking. I do feel bad for Rob, I must say.
Yeah.
We've kind of touched on it in like the back end of last year. He wasn't too bad, but I think these new ruck rules have just ended his career with us anyway, almost.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. McAndrew is just so much better suited to him, and it feels like there's more potential for him to be good and great. And Rob, thanks for your service, mate. But
Yeah.
like you said, I just don't think the ruck rules don't allow him to play his game and be the ruckman who he has been for so long.
Yeah, because like the poor bloke, he can't. There's no chance he's getting off the ground and beating some of these rucks in the air. The only ones he's going to have a chance against are like your Tristan Sherrys and stuff that are built similar, same kind of ruckman that needed that like ground tussle for the ball rather than the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a positive thing in terms of it's quite funny. It feels like it's come full circle that we're all such Rob haters, and now he's out of the team, and I'm feeling a bit sentimental about it. Like, oh, poor Rob. But it's nice to see McAndrew get rewarded, and Toby Murray. He's on the bench. We'll get to that in a minute, but that's a big debut as well. I'm really happy to see that.
Yes, yeah, big time, big time.
So the rest of the bench, obviously, Toby Murray on debut. And then we've got Peatling, Neil Bullen, Mike Laney, and Keys. Again, probably expected no real shocks. Maybe I would have had Max starting over Laird, but I've got a bit of a I think that's recency bias from Laird's performance against Freo. I'm still a bit salty about the ball use in that one,
Yeah,
but he's aging, so there's probably a bit more rust to shake out than normal. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that it was just a bit of loosening up. But oh man, I'm telling you, if he starts doing that shit again, missing 20-meter kicks, there's going to be some superlatives coming out of my mouth.
yeah, I 100% agree, mate. And yeah, on the players on the bench, I feel like if that's the five they roll with, I'll be interested to see, because a lot of teams last week seemed to hold one guy out for sort of 15 minutes of the quarter and give him a real burst of energy to the end. Is it a Ben Keys out of that group? Is it a Neil Bullen? Is it a Peatling? There are four blokes
Don't
on there,
know.
obviously, other than Toby Murray, who I'd have best 18. I'm just not
Yeah,
sure what the outlook is.
I'm definitely surprised. I'm not, because his preseason form was so good, and I know I've been a hater, but I'm surprised Pedler's on field over Neil Bullen.
Yeah,
Peatling, I kind of get. He kind of rotated through the bench last year as well. I personally don't like it because a different discussion, but I think that probably means no one's going to Dacos at the first centre bounce.
yeah.
Because that's a role I imagine Peatling taking on, and I know we haven't exactly tagged in the past. We've had Keys play roles on halfbacks, but we haven't really tagged midfielders before. But I don't know. I feel like something has to give. If Nick gets off the chain, I think we're in some strife. But we'll talk about that more in a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, there's a few interesting matchups in terms of Collingwood's back six, I think, playing on our forwards, because obviously no Darcy Moore. That came out earlier today or late last night. I think that was big. Someone in our forward line is pretty much always going to have the upper hand, I think, because no one, like, they've got Frampton and probably Maynard as their next tallest defender. So it's like I feel like we've got the upper hand there if we can get good entries inside 50.
yeah.
Because, I mean, the lineups on the AFL website are hilarious right now. It's got Dacos lining up on Thilthorpe, Quainer on Tex. Like, it's some good reading if it actually happens. I'd love to see Josh Dacos line up on Thilthorpe, but
Yeah, I'd take that all day, every day. And yeah, I don't know, like it's looking at the weather as well. It's going to be 21 degrees. It's going to be sunny all day. There's a 10% chance of rain, but pretty early in the day. Like it's going to be a perfect day for footy.
yeah,
Feed the tools just
straight up.
all night. Yeah,
That's the thing though. It's got 10 between them written on it, but I know we beat them last year, but there's still something there about Collingwood that I'm just like, they're going to find a way and it's going to piss me off. But
yeah, yeah,
I'm backing them in that they'll quell whatever fix they've got for it, whether it's, getting the ball to ground and hoping Rash works his magic. But yeah, I can't. As long as we get good forward entries, it seems like we'll be hard to stop that forward line based on the matchups. But
yeah.
time will tell, I guess.
That's it. All boils down to in the middle of the ground, just like last year again. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I think looking at the squad on paper, it's a very well balanced and even squad, and you've got your
it is.
players on every line that you can feel confident in. So I mean, I feel confident going into this, but yeah, like you said, there's just something about looking at it and going, "Oh, Collingwood at the MCG," and you go, "Yeah, that's that's always like it's obviously always a tough game, but there's that
Yeah,
mental thing where you're like, it's Collingwood at the MCG, and we've lost however many games against them at the MCG all the way back to
yeah,
2015, 14. But
yeah.
yeah,
It's a
that's
while.
yeah. So it
It's
makes it hard, but we'll back them in.
Yeah, correct. And I think they've got they. I think there is an element of like, I know the qualifying final didn't exactly go our way, but they at least had the regular season game where they beat them and they had a way to do it, and it didn't click in finals. Again, it's no point dwelling on that, whether it was an experience or whatever. We've talked about that. But I think there'd still be a little bit of belief there. But I'm saying, like, I know one thing we always talk about is where the game's won or lost, and it seems so unrealistic to like pin the hopes of a club on one player, but I'm so worried about Nick Dacos, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's completely fair. I mean, we watched him last week just absolutely tear St Kilda up, and they have a recognised tagger who does a good job most of
Yeah,
the time. They're like, oh, actually, we won't even worry about sending him to him. Don't worry about it.
correct. And I love that we always back in our own system. Like, I think that's something that's really important in footy, is not like making sacrifices to your own system to stop another team's, but um if it starts, like, if the tide starts shifting and Dacos is off the chain at half time and he's got 20 and a goal or something, I hope Nixie just sends someone to him, because I feel like
Yeah,
that's where it's won or lost in that midfield, which I guess is probably going to be the story of our season for a lot of these chats.
yeah,
Um, it'll boil down to the midfield a lot, but I think we'll get a good indication anyway. Like, they've not exactly got a weak midfield in terms of, they've got Dacos, they've got Pendlebury, who's apparently named on ball, which is interesting from the role he played last week, which I thought he played really
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And Perryman is named on ball, which also
It's
confuses me because, like, is he going to go to Dawson? Is that what we're thinking? Or
yeah, I
because I
don't know.
can't,
I mean, unless they're just playing games with their lineups, like I mean, obviously you can do that. You don't have to lock in exactly where they are, but like
yeah, that's
it is
true.
very strange.
Yeah, like, that's the only, like, obviously, like you said, we don't know if he's actually going to start on ball, but that seems like the only logical reason he's there, because he's not a midfielder, like he's a halfback. Um,
Yeah,
but who knows? It, like you said, it might just be McRae trying to get in their head. Maybe they're trying to do it so they plan for a Dawson tag and sacrifice something somewhere, or who knows. But um, there is an elephant in the room that I'm wanting to address now, and we will
please
discuss
do,
it.
mate.
If you put your eyes down to the bottom of the page where it says emergencies, you'll see number one, Chase Jones.
Indeed.
And after all of the chat, the off season, Dylan has conveniently decided that he was too tired to record this episode because he knew what was coming his way, I believe. He was never playing, and I'm just, it kind of proved our points. If
Yeah.
Braden Cook's starting over him, I think that's a pretty safe sign he's probably in some strife. Not to mention,
Yeah.
I'm outing you, Shrimp, when you listen to this. Don't care. There was a floating of a Riley Thilthorpe injury in the warm up so that Chase could play. This is the levels that this
It's-
man goes to, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, this is the man that you listen
But
to
anyway,
every week. Come on now.
you believe his football opinions and he's saying stuff like this. Keep that in mind. I'll bring up the Sam Darcy thing again if I have to, Shrimp. The streets haven't forgotten.
But yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, we were big on it last week saying that if Mitch Hinge doesn't play, well, I personally thought he was a chance if Mitch Hinge didn't play. Hinge has obviously
Yeah.
now been ruled out for a couple of weeks, and I was like, maybe, but he's obviously just that next in line. So I mean, he was close. Shrimp can hang his hat on the fact that he was close, but he's going to have to buy our mate Dingo a few beers on Friday
Yeah.
because he was wrong.
War a trophy. At least he tried, bro. Nah, like I've always said, I don't actually hate Chase. I think when he has a good game, he's definitely serviceable. I didn't want to see him unless there's injuries. He's good cover, like he's good backup to have there because he can play when he wants to, but he's just too inconsistent. And
Yeah.
anyway, he's not playing, so let's move on. I'll stop beating up Shrimp now when he's not here. But yeah, I think like we just previously touched on, I think the midfield battle is very important. Very.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. That's the
And
spot you need.
I just hope that we show out. Like I hope it's at least like I don't mind if they beat us in and under because they are like they don't necessarily have massive names in there anymore, but they
They're still
just
solid.
get it
Yeah.
done. Like they just get it done, and I hope that it's at least like a solid fight and it's not all Dawson. I think that's another thing that would be really important if there's an even contribution. So like Saligo, we know what his best is. Like if he can find some consistency, we'll be laughing.
Yeah.
Same with Berry. Berry's a gun when he wants to be, but he's inconsistent. Like it's kind of the story of a lot of the midfielders that run through there for us at the moment.
Yeah.
And you love the great man JD, but you don't want him. You don't want him like shouldering the entire midfield for a whole other season, considering he basically did that last year. So
Yeah. Nah, exactly. I think, some of those other boys rolling through there obviously have to take a bit of load. There's been a lot of talk, obviously, about Rash rolling up there early in the season. Maybe not as much this week with no ranking, obviously, until next week, but he's obviously going to get his chance through there. Lukey Pedler's played a good role through the midfield in the preseason games as well. Your Pete Lings, your Keys, your Neil Bullens even getting up that high. There's plenty to go through there. It's just a matter of, when they're in there performing, which is the key, really, isn't it?
yeah, and just no Rory Laird.
Yeah,
No
agree.
Rory Laird.
Strongly agree. Yep.
Because we went back to that in the finals last year and it seemed like it was grasping at straws, like it was the last resort because they didn't know what else to do. So they chucked in all reliable and look what happened. You just no Rory Laird.
Yeah.
We were also happy when he went back last year and he wasn't as good as he used to be, but he's still a bloody good player. And then just keep him out of the midfield, bro.
Yeah. Nah, pretty much. But yeah, as long as the midfield breaks even. I think if they break even, they don't necessarily have to win the midfield contest. And a midfield with Nick Dacos and Josh Dacos and all these players, you're probably not many midfields are going to win the midfield contest 100%. But if they can break even and give our forwards just a half a chance, we've probably got enough cattle up forward and compared to their defence that you're going to give yourself a pretty good chance at winning the football game. So obviously we know the defence will do their job down back. I've got full confidence in them. Yeah. Feed the forwards, make it clean. We should be a good chance. I mean, you can't go into the MCG against Collingwood too confident, but I just feel the pieces are there.
It feels different this time. I think every year going in, we've all been like hopeful, but not necessarily confident.
Yeah,
Whereas this year there's a little bit of confidence about it that we might actually come away with this one because we've definitely been up for it every time we've played them.
yeah,
And again, qualifying final didn't go our way, but it seems like we've found a way to match them, and hopefully we just go
yeah,
to the next level like we're all hoping this year. Um,
yeah.
One matchup I'm actually really excited to see is if De Goey plays on Worrell. Um, I think that's going to be unreal. Like, I don't know. I just think it's going to be unreal. I think it's going to be a really good test for Woz because De Goey's he's had a good preseason, etc. Training the house down. Um, and he was pretty good last week. And I don't know. I just think it's going to be unreal. It's going to be so good to watch.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup to think about. I mean, yeah, De Goey, he pushed up a bit further up the ground last week against St Kilda, so I don't know. Worrell's probably not going to follow him up as high as he went last
Nah,
week, but
no
if
way.
he's
But
in and around the forward line, that would be a good
that's what I
matchup.
mean. If he's not even deep, if he's just playing as a half forward sitting on the 50 and that ball comes in and it hits the ground, I think that's going to be some serious football.
Yeah,
Um, I'm just excited to see Josh Worrell in general again. To be honest,
yeah,
he's my
he's coming for that
glorious king
jacket.
was robbed of all Australian. Yeah, well said. He's coming for it. Josh Battle, your name is in the crosshair, buddy.
Yeah,
Look out.
yeah, slower. All Australian 2026 Josh Worrell. Let's mark it down right now.
No, straight up. I'm
Um,
telling you right now, if he plays well, I'm putting. There'll be some Australian currency put on him making an All Australian squad.
yeah, no, 100% agree.
Gamble
100%
responsibly,
agree.
etc.
Very well said.
You lose
Um,
more than you win.
Free confidential support team. I've heard that ad way too much. Um, so yeah, really, it's the midfield really, and I mean, Lockie McAndrew obviously coming in for his debut as well. I'm intrigued because Cameron played
Big
well
test.
last week, but yeah, it's a big test for him. But
Big
I don't know
test.
if he can if he can break even, or even if he loses the ruck contest, say 40-60, I'm probably
Yeah.
okay with that. Yeah,
I think he'll do all right. I think around the ground he might be in some strife, but I reckon at centre bounces he'll have the upper hand. I think he'll jump over him. Like he's
yeah,
got the vertical leap. He's 210 centimeters. Like I reckon he'll beat him in the middle, which is probably the most important one given recent fucking events in our centre bounces.
yeah,
John Newcomb. Yeah, it's like if he gets the upper hand, even if it's just a centre bounces, I think that's a win. It's always a big ask for a ruck on debut, especially playing on like someone like Darcy Cameron following him around the ground. But I think that's probably why Toby Murray's in as well,
yes, yeah,
which might be the other thing. It is terrible for my fantasy side, but it's probably good for us as a football club. It's not going to shock me if they rotate those two pretty heavily through the ruck, and that's kind of
yeah,
what that fifth player will be used as. It like extended stints on the bench for both of them, whether it's half a quarter each or um, it won't shock me if that's how it's used. I think because they're both going to have their work cut out for them. Played on
yeah.
Darcy Cameron as a first game, so yeah, that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's all these little battles, mainly through the middle of the ground, to be honest. But it's,
Yeah,
it's one of those games that you look at. It's an exciting game on paper. As a neutral fan of this game, you look at it and you go, yeah, "This is going to be a good game."
yeah,
It's got all the makings of just Saturday night under lights, MCG. You got two pretty evenly matched teams. It's
yeah.
set up. The stage
It
is
feels
ready.
good. I can't wait. Like a Saturday night MCG against the Pies. That's what dreams are made of.
Yeah,
It's gonna be so
nah,
good, and
100%.
I hope the players like. You hope they use that as motivation, like prime time, biggest club
Yeah,
in the land, like away game. Like there's probably going to be 80,000 there again. Hopefully 20,000 Crows fans. Like I really hope that gets them up and about. If that doesn't, I don't think there's much that will, to be honest.
yeah. Nah, 100%, 100%.
I'm
So,
I'm sitting here as a spectator, fucking getting goosebumps thinking about it. So
no, absolutely. It's got the makings. Actually, we'll go through some predictions in a second. Like, there's one player who I think that the lights are just, he's ready to shine in them. We'll
I
move
have a feeling
forward
I'm going to
to,
agree.
yeah, I think we've probably both got the same idea.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to who wins how much and who kicks the first goals. I'll start with you, mate. Who do you think's winning and by how much? And maybe we'll probably have the same answer of who kicks the most goals.
Yeah, probably. I'll back us in. I think it'll be close. I hope it's close. Not too close. My heart can't take another close, like super close game. I reckon it'll be within like a few goals though. Um,
Yeah.
I'll say us by 15. I reckon. I think that's a good amount, enough to get the heart rate up, but not shoot it through the roof
Not
like
kill
it
us.
normally does against this mob. What about you, mate?
I reckon, yeah, I'm backing us in as well, and I'm also on the line of a close win. I'm going to go with 8 points.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
I don't want it. I don't want it that close. I'd much rather us win by 8 goals, but I just
Yeah.
it just always seems to happen like that. It's always close between us, and yeah, I'm going to go with 8 points, I think. And the man who I was alluding to, maybe not the most goals. I think Field and the Tools are probably prime for the most goals, but Joshy Rochelle is he's ready to explode, right?
Yeah, man.
Just all this
It's
talk
like
in the
Emery
preseason,
said.
he's ready.
Yeah, that like arrogant little wog that just loves the spotlight. He's going to explode. I reckon it's got a very very comprehensive Josh Rochelle performance written all over it. I think.
Yeah, nah, 100%. I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know if he, like I said, I don't know if he rolls up through the middle as much this week as he will next week. He's obviously going to go through there, but ideally, I'd love to see a 20-touch, 2-goal type of performance just rolling through the midfield. But we'll see. It's set up. The stage is set
No,
for him.
mate. If he's got 20 and 2, that's a massive tick. Like I'm taking. If he's running through the midfield, I'd take 20 and 1 even. Like, oh,
Yeah,
God help me if he's got 25 and 3 or something. There'll be Brownlow medal bets put on, like, straight up. I hope it's a good split. I hope it's like a 30-70 split
yeah,
for the midfield, like 70-30 mid, because that'll give him some good exposure. Um, give him a chance to get his hands on the ball, get a few clearances, get the confidence up, and then when Ranks is back, hopefully he can move towards like a 50-50 split. That would be ideal, I reckon.
yeah, yeah, 100%. But yeah, all very, very exciting. Like we said, it's the stage is set for this to be just could be game of the year in the first round. You never know. We'll see how we come out, I suppose. But other than that, mate, are there any other points or players that you want to highlight? Any predictions? Any calling out a shrimp for any other comments he's made? Or
No, I think I've got all my excitement out. They're probably sick of hearing me talk about midfield and Jordan Dawson and goosebumps right now. So, um, yeah. If you go into the game, let us know. We'll be floating around. A few beers will be drank beforehand, I imagine. So can't wait.
100%. 100%, mate. And yeah, like Dom said, yeah, if you're around Melbourne, you're out and about, flick us a message. We'll be certainly patrolling the town of Melbourne. We're not there to take part, there to take over, etc., etc. Other than that, thank you very much for listening to our preview of the round one clash with the Pies. The review of it we'll probably have out Tuesday morning, I'd say. We'll aim for a Monday night recording, pending how we all pull up and fly in on Sunday evening. If you've got any feedback from the game, any thoughts while it's going on, chuck us a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it may be, at Proper Crows Pod. Fire it up for Saturday night. Get around the boys. Dom, thanks for jumping on, mate.
No worries, mate. Always a pleasure. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Fire it up. And yeah, everyone listening, get around the boys. Go Crow.
Go Crow.
Ring the bell! Ring the bell! The bell in the city of Kansas! Stand up like Matthew Nicks and rule like you never have before!
Jarman again, round the body. That'll do. Oh, that will do.